Up to 40,000 Americans remain stranded in Afghanistan, as defense officials are saying they're going to try to save 5,000 people per day from Kabul. However, Biden Press Secretary Jen Psaki refused to offer any guarantee that Americans will be evacuated from Afghanistan. The American government has abandoned tens of thousands of U.S. citizens. Hello everyone, this is Mr. Obvious, and today on the internet, we need to talk about the 40,000 Americans who remain stranded as the Taliban has overtaken Kabul, the Kabul International Airport, and many people are scared. Here on the Daily Mail, it says, defense officials say they'll save up to 5,000 a day from Kabul, but up to 40,000 Americans remain stranded. Taliban fighters close in on airport after taking all access points, which forces U.S. troops to negotiate with them on who gets in. This is a really big problem, folks. Right now, there is huge outcry online over the Americans who have been stranded in Afghanistan. But we're going to talk about all that and more. Before we do, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon for updates on future content, and support the channel by sharing this video online with your family and friends in order to spread the word and fight against big tech censorship. And now for a quick shout out. I just want to give a quick shout out to my Patreon and Subscribestar. I've recently added a brand new tier, $3 a month. For the price of a cup of coffee, you can join and get access to a private Discord server called Fight Club. I also have this set up on Subscribestar. Joining is the best way to support this channel and keep this channel alive. Join today by clicking on the links down below. And we're back. So let's talk about the absolute disaster on the border. Here on Twitter, with Ian Miles Chung, he says, Democrats called for Ted Cruz to resign when he went on vacation during a blizzard in Texas. These same people are silent as Biden vacations while Afghanistan implodes, and thousands of Americans are stranded and in danger of being killed or kidnapped by the Taliban. Now, I'm going to be honest, folks. I am not a fan of Ian Miles Chung. He's done a lot of things that I find questionable. However, I've got to say, he has a really good take on this situation, and I pretty much feel the same way. The Biden administration is literally hiding like cowards from the press. Did you see that video the other day of Biden practically running away from the press?
Thank you. May God protect our troops, our diplomats, and all brave Americans serving in harm's way.
So I want to take you over to the Daily Mail, where they talk about how the Biden administration has basically condemned thousands of Americans to basically suffer. And it honestly gets more insulting. Here the story says, U.S. defense officials in charge of evacuating Americans from Kabul claimed on Tuesday morning that they would fly out 5,000 a day out, despite only managing to rescue 1,400 in the 3 days since the city fell, while as many as 40,000 people may remain stranded, some in remote parts of the country. The Taliban is fast encroaching on the airport in Kabul, and its fighters are now in charge of every access point on the way from the city. They have set up guard at the airport's entrance, which means that NATO troops are relying on their cooperation to safely get foreign nationals and Afghan refugees through the gates and onto planes. Now, one of the biggest criticisms of the Biden administration was that they seem to care way more about these foreigners from another country than the American citizens who are stranded. In fact, they were flying out Afghan refugees and key officials and interpreters before they even thought about helping Americans. They set up this crappy website where Americans stuck in Afghanistan were supposedly supposed to fill out a form. But guess what? The website and the phone number don't even work. Here on Fox News, State Department tells Americans in Afghanistan to shelter in place until they hear from the embassy. What's that? You're stranded and the Taliban has surrounded you? Oh well, we're too busy shipping refugees to key swing states. Ah yes, that's another wonderful thing that the Biden administration seems to be doing. They're taking these Afghan refugees, people who ran away from their homeland instead of staying and fighting like a brave patriot and citizen should, and Biden is going to put them in swing states so that they can all vote Democrat. Do you see the way the game is played, folks? Not only did Biden massively screw up the withdrawal from Afghanistan. They're still taking advantage of the situation in order to get more votes. So long story short, the American government is telling US citizens to go screw themselves. And it's the saddest thing, but it is exactly what I expect from the Biden administration and from the Democrats. They don't actually care about American citizens. Jen Psaki's refusing to even make the commitment to getting out Americans. Jen Psaki was literally asked by a reporter, can you commit to rescuing Americans? And she refused. She absolutely refused to say that they were going to. You want proof? Look at the following line. A White House official told Fox News on Tuesday that American and civilian flights from Hamid Karzai International Airport in Kabul have resumed, and that over the last 24 hours, the U.S. has been able to move more than 700 people out of Afghanistan, including 150 American citizens. Do you see, folks? They care more about these foreigners than they do about Americans. 700 foreigners, 150 American citizens. This is why I despise Biden. This is why I despise the Democrats. Whatever happened to America first? This is why I miss Trump. Trump would have put Americans first. Trump would have pulled out Americans first. So make no mistake, there's a lot of people who got stranded in Afghanistan who are probably scared as the Taliban is busting down their doors and kidnapping young women, wondering, oh please, when is Biden going to come to save us? The answer? Never. But how many people are stranded in Afghanistan in the first place? According to Pentagon spokesman John Kirby, somewhere between 5,000 and 10,000 people are in Kabul, but earlier admitted that he actually has no idea. However, George W. Bush's former Assistant Secretary of State, Robert Charles, says that there are between 15,000 and 40,000 scattered across all of Afghanistan. So we could have 40,000 Americans stuck in Afghanistan right now, unable to leave, as the Taliban takes over. What am I saying? They took over, plain and simple, in one of the most botched withdrawals in U.S. history, maybe even in world history. Joe Biden is such an utter failure. He should honestly resign and quit being president because he's garbage at it. He's the worst president we've ever had. You know, you've got all this insanely disturbing footage of people on airplanes falling off, getting caught in wind turbines. It is very, very gruesome stuff. But it also makes me angry because instead of staying to fight and defend your own country, you have a lot of Afghan men, like physically healthy, able to fight men, running away. It's absolutely cowardly. And this is why I do not want to accept any refugees, maybe women and children, but not the men. Why? Because I do not want people who are not willing to fight for their freedom. If these people, if these young, able-bodied men are not willing to fight for their own country, what makes you think they're going to fight for our country? Exactly. So, according to official sources, the Taliban has agreed to a 2-week grace period for foreign countries to remove their people before it's too late. But those on the ground are dubious about how long it may last. Right now, this whole thing is a total clown show. The Taliban has been saying, don't worry, women will have rights under Sharia law. In other words, they're not going to have any rights at all. So what did Biden have to say about this failure? What did he have to say about withdrawing from Afghanistan? Well, according to Richard Holbrooke, Biden said the following, quote, F that. Nixon and Kissinger got away with it in Vietnam. What Biden told Obama's special representative for Afghanistan, he thought of America's obligations to the Afghan people. So according to Richard Holbrooke, Obama's former special representative, Biden was intent on pulling out of Afghanistan in 2010. Biden compared pulling out of Afghanistan with the U.S. exit of Vietnam in 1973. He reportedly said, F that, we did it in Vietnam, Nixon got away with it. Oh man, what a spicy take. Apparently, Biden doesn't give a damn about the Americans he left behind, the weapons he left behind, and the fact that he's endangered so many people. This failure is 100% on Biden. He should resign. He should quit. But that, my friends, is pretty much the story. I honestly could not make this up if I wanted to. And, I find it hilarious that Biden said 4 presidents have presided over an American troop presence in Afghanistan. 2 Republicans and 2 Democrats. We will not pass on the war into a 5th. Did Biden accidentally admit that he's not going to be around next term and it's going to be another president? Freudian slip? Probably. But that, my friends, is merely the obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks. What do you think about this story? Be sure to let me know down below in the comment section. As always, support the channel by joining me on Patreon or Subscribestar. Joining will give you access to a private Discord server. This channel is supported by viewers like you and is not monetized whatsoever. So if you want to support the channel, be sure to join. If you want to donate, donation links and crypto links are down below. Anyhow, thanks for watching, folks. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all next time.